Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kelly Hutchinson, Deputy Chair of the Pearcey Foundation, and it's my privilege to be the first to welcome you this afternoon to the Pearcey National Awards for 2021. Before we begin the proceedings, I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the Bunurong and Woiwurrung Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation, and all of the traditional custodians who belong to the lands where the Pearcey Foundation and you, our guests, are based today. We acknowledge all the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders with us today and their elders, past, present and emerging, whose stories, traditions and living cultures in this country are a valuable resource, as are those all of the who have come to Australia to make our home here. Together we are Australian. So as for all of us, it's been another eventful year for the Pearcey Foundation, and who would have conceived that for the second year we'd be presenting the National Awards virtually. But actually we're almost hybrid this year because we're actually able to present a number of the awards in person, but not all of us together. But anyway, we're all busy, as I said before, tap dancing on tectonic plates, and definitely that's what our recipients of this year's 2021 Pearcey Foundation Awards definitely all have in common. So I'm going to actually get straight into it because we have some important guests with us and we have a tight time schedule, but we will be sharing some more insights into what the foundation has been up to this year. But before I get to there, we're going to hand over to Rick Harvey for the presentation of our 2021 National Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Rick is a member of the National Pearcey Committee, as well as having the difficult yet rewarding role each year of being Chief Judge of the Pearcey National Entrepreneur of the Year Committee. And over to you, Rick, for the first award of the afternoon.
Thank you, Kelly. Hello, everybody. And yes, here we are, all are virtually. A little known fact is that Australia actually was a pioneer in the digital age. Way back in 1948, we had Trevor Pearcey built the first stored program digital computer, and the first were the English, then the Americans and the Australians. So we were right on the map there in the front. And Trevor Pearcey was a bit of an entrepreneur, and in that light, every year the Pearcey Foundation recognises entrepreneurs from all around Australia. We have state committees, and those state committees choose an amazing entrepreneur from that state, and we recognise and celebrate what they've done, and they're all amazing in their own way. So let me quickly just summarise each of the states. If we can have the slides. From the ACT, we have Dr. Daniel Shaddock, founder and CEO of Liquid Instruments, an amazing company building very, very high-tech stuff and rolling it out onto the world stage. And the summary of each of these entrepreneurs is actually on our website, so I'm just going to whip through them. In New South Wales, we have Jordan O'Reilly and Laura O'Reilly, and there's a pretty amazing brother and sister team. They're in a profit for purpose company in the disability sector, and they've raised an awful lot of money, and they've been helping hundreds of thousands of usability of people with disabilities organise their life and all the support workers around them. Up in Queensland, we have Michael Holstrom. Like many of the other entrepreneurs, has had a number of successful businesses, and STEM Punks is now an international company who's in the education centre trying to bring technology to the to their customers. They've just signed an amazing deal with Lockheed Martin, for example. Over in South Australia, we have Mohan, and he spent 20 years building a global cybersecurity company, and they have had to move to the UK and the US, and finally back to Adelaide, where they've got a whole team there. Raised a lot of money, got 100 staff, and got Fortune 500 companies. Amazing story. In Tasmania, we've got Nina McMahon, and she's the co-founder and CEO of Pop-Up Wi-Fi. Again, basically become an international company, started just doing normal events, and COVID means and building these ruggedized devices with multi-carrier networking, 3D printing and remote management. And during COVID, they've had to pivot, and they've become a live streaming company, and they've got customers like SpaceX and Volkswagen. In Victoria, Bronman She's the founder and CEO of AndHealth. Pretty amazing. This is a not-for-profit. Bronwyn was a venture capitalist, and instead of going building her own company and decided she wants to help a lot of other companies, she's helped over 500 companies in the digital health space, helped them raise 60 or 70 million dollars, and very, very active in the industry, helping all these companies navigate the very, very long and difficult road in digital health. And over in Western Australia, we have Charlie Gunningham, and again, another serial entrepreneur, a number of successful businesses, but decided that his real passion is to go and help the WA startup community. And he's an angel investor, he's an advisor, a writer, he's got a presenter, a podcaster, and he's really a go-to person over there in Western Australia. Now, each of these state entrepreneurs are amazing in their own right. And we recognise and celebrate what they've done. And it's quite amazing that every year we keep getting yet more amazing. But what we do is, for the national award, is we select one of these state entrepreneurs to be kind of iconic of the group. They're all amazing in their own right, but we decide that one will represent the group and be the 2021 national entrepreneur. And I'd like to hand over now, we're going live to Western Australia, where we have the Honourable Stephen Marshall, MP, Premier of South Australia.
South Australia.
South Australia, sorry. And he's going to present the National Award. So over to you, Minister.
Thank you very much. Well, Rick, can I just say thank you very much for the really tough task of choosing between those excellent state winners of the Pearcey Entrepreneur of the Year. I just loved hearing about the great success of entrepreneurs right across this entrepreneurial country. It's great to be here in Adelaide at the moment. And by the way, Kelly, you could have had your awards here, because we're open to the entire country as of yesterday, when we got to 80% double vaccination. So we would have loved to have had you. And as it turns out, here on our little Zoom meeting, we've got about 50 people in the room who are all very excited, because the 2021 Pearcey National Entrepreneur of the Year is South Australia's Mohan. Let's get a photograph. But I want to tell you guys who are on this Zoom call a little bit about Mohan. As Rick said, Mohan started in Adelaide. He moved overseas. In fact, he was in multiple countries, including the UK, including the US. He's come back to Adelaide, like so many people have. COVID, in a funny way, has created a net migration back to South Australia, one of the safest places in the entire world, the fastest growing economy in the nation, and the #1 most livable city in Australia. Sorry, just a bit of over propaganda there, Rick. Sorry, hope you don't mind. But I love this guy. He's absolutely infectious. Now, not in a COVID way, but more in his enthusiasm and his love for entrepreneurs. And I'll tell you one thing, we need more entrepreneurs. We need those people that are prepared to risk their capital, to put it on the line, to create opportunities for our country, to create opportunities for our next generation. And I can't think of anybody more worthy than Mohan Koo. He's involved in that incredible area of cyber. We will get through this current pandemic, the COVID-19 global pandemic, but make no mistake, the next global disruption will be a digital disruption. It will be a cyber disruption. And so the more that we can focus on being prepared and resilient for that disruption, the better. DTEX is a great company. It's got great staff, but it's got great leadership. And that's what we love. Entrepreneurs that provide leadership, risk their capital, invest, attract investors, create job opportunities, and to add something to our global humanity. So I think this year, Rick, and I think Kelly, the Vice President of the Pearcey Foundation, would agree with me. This year we have a very, very worthy recipient of the Pearcey 2021 National Entrepreneur of the Year, Mohan Koo.
So Mohan, say a few words, please.
Sure. Well, first of all, a big thank you. Big thank you to Premier Marshall for everything that you've done, not just for me, but for this entire community, and getting behind entrepreneurship. It's been an amazing ride since I've been back in Adelaide, and I'm truly proud to be home in Australia, where we are really making waves on the global stage right now. Look, firstly, you know, I certainly couldn't have got here without my family, and I feel like I need to thank them first and foremost, especially my parents, David and Amala, and especially my wife, Nadia. Without them, I wouldn't be here, of course. But and then, you know, to DTEX, it's been an amazing roller coaster of a ride. But look, it is a team sport. DTEX always has and always will be a team sport. And you know, I'm very blessed to have the absolute best team in the game worldwide in cybersecurity. And it's really tough. Like, it's a hard game that we're playing, right? Like the landscape is changing every single day. You know, everything you learned yesterday has to be thrown out the window, and you have to learn about what's happening today and tomorrow. And that's really, really complex. And, you know, to do that without a team as sophisticated and as joined up and as good communicators as the team that we have today it would be impossible. So that's the thanks that I have. Look, I'm really, really proud to be Australian. I'm really, really proud to be here in Australia right now, where I think the playing field has totally been leveled. So, you know, when I came back to Adelaide in 2018, we have a headquarters based in Silicon Valley. Our board of directors are all Silicon Valley board members. And prior to COVID, you know, I had tried to convince them that we can hire down here in Australia. We don't need to keep hiring in the Bay Area. We have amazing talent here. We have amazing work ethic. We have people that are dedicated and growing, and the culture is fantastic for work and growing innovative companies. But, you know, that old school mentality, that old school thinking was, no, we have to hire in the Bay Area. This is a Bay Area company. COVID leveled that playing field. And for all Australians now, we can do it from here. As long as we're prepared to wake up a little bit earlier, a lot earlier in some cases, in the morning, and go to sleep a little bit later if you're serving places like Europe, you can do it from here. The opportunity is here. It is now. We have capital surrounding us. We have great leadership in government that's supporting us. There has never been a better time. So, you know, for me, you know, I think, you know, every single entrepreneur that's here today and represented from each of the states, congratulations on everything you've achieved. Thank you for everything that you've done for the rest of us. This is a team sport, and we have to play as a team, and we are the strongest team on the planet. I firmly believe that. So thank you, Pearcey Foundation. I'm really grateful for the recognition that you've given to all of us today.
Thank you, Mohan. Fabulous. And back over to you, Kelly.
Okie dokie. Thank you so much. And yes, congratulations, Mohan. And it's always a really hard, it's not a choice. It's a choice, but it's not a competition, if that makes any sense, because each of the partners who have been recognised are leaders in their industry. And so we will continue to keep shouting it from the rafters of what amazing talent we have across the states and across the territories and our nation. So again, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us, Premier. And I love Adelaide, so don't worry, I'll be there soon and look forward to meeting you. We'd like to now actually introduce Wayne Fitzsimmons, our illustrious chair, somebody I have been able to be deputy to for a number of years, and he is going to talk through and make the presentations for our 2021 Pearcey Hall of Famers and Medallist. Over to you, Wayne.
Thank you, Kelly. Welcome, everybody. And well done, Mohan and the team in Adelaide, and to all our state entrepreneur winners for 2021. What an outstanding example you are all setting. I find it quite exciting after all these years of being involved that it seems to get better and better. And the 2021 cohort is just wonderful. I firmly believe Australia's future is assured through such talented leaders of the next generation that you represent. So, staying with the contributions of the current generation, it's my absolute pleasure now to formally announce the names of the 3 lifetime contributors to our ICT industry who will be elevated to the Pearcey Hall of Fame, one of whom will also be named the 2021 Pearcey Medallist. The criteria used in selecting our Hall of Famers can broadly be described in the following words: distinguished achievement of a lifetime and a contribution to the development and growth of the Australian information and communications technology industry. I think the three distinguished Australians whose careers you're about to hear a little fit this definition. These three individuals were nominated from our industry and voted on by more than 30 peers, drawn also from across our diverse sector, including many of our past medalists. We have been undertaking these awards since 1998, and the year which saw the passing of Dr. Trevor Pearce. These awards were initiated by Ian Dennis, who I'm sure is zooming in today. That said, it now gives me great pleasure to announce the first inductee of the Pearcey Hall of Fame for 2021. I've got her award here. Judy has been a major contributor to the ICT community, both in Australia and internationally, as a leader in the fields of human-computer interaction, usability, and the social implications of information technology. She has done this as an educator, a leader in curriculum development at both school and university level, an advocate for the role of women in IT, a broadcaster, and as Australia's representative on international bodies such as the International Federation of Information Processing, IFIP. Judy has been involved in our industry since the late 1960s, concluding her academic career at UTS here in Sydney, having joined there originally when it was called NSWIT or NISBIT, as I knew it back in the 70s. We at Pearcey are proud to recognise her leadership through the ACS work and our industry overall for a wonderful lifetime contribution. Unfortunately, Judy has taken ill these last few days and is in hospital. But don't fear, her #1 supporter, husband Morrison, is on the video screen and is delighted to accept her award virtually at their home in Sydney. To Judy, we say congratulations on a wonderful lifetime contribution, and we wish you well for a speedy recovery. Judy Hammond, 2021 Pearcey Hall of Fame. Thank you. Our second inductee is Alan Noble. For those of us familiar with Google's presence in Australia, I think it's fair to say that Alan was one of the constants in defining their emergence here locally and influencing their product direction internationally through sheer personal intellectual effort and persistence. Alan is now based in Adelaide once again, as it was his hometown in 1982 when he graduated from the University of Adelaide in electrical engineering. Following his master's degree at Stanford in 1988, he founded his own software startup in 1996, NetMind, via an incubator in Sunnyvale, California. His pioneering efforts here at NetMind and at larger companies that eventually acquired NetMind led him to senior development roles at IntelliSync and then back to Australia in 2002 to start Forstix, many of you will remember. His mentor and business partner, Peter Broom, commented that Alan always wanted to build high-class teams from small beginnings. No doubt this was key to his success in the role as VP Engineering at Google in 2007 for 11 wonderful years. His extracurricular activities now that he has settled back in Adelaide extend far and beyond the ICT sector. We are delighted to recognise Alan's contribution to the development of our Australian ICT industry. His efforts outside his 9-to-5 job over many years and his striving for excellence in everything he does goes without saying. Full details on his more recent activities are available on our website, pearcey.org.au. Congratulations, Alan, and apologies for not being able to present the award in person today. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm really honoured to receive this. Thank you, Wayne, and the entire committee. It truly is an honour. And I have to say, something that Mohan said earlier resonated with me. And it's always been something that I've felt very strongly about, and that is we do have amazing talent here in Australia. And in a sense, that's what has enabled me to do what I've done these past couple of decades. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan. And now, allow me to introduce our third and final inductee for the 2021 Pearcey Hall of Fame, and as the 2021 Pearcey Medallist. David, would you like to join me here?
Thank you, Wayne. I shall.
This gentleman is well known to most of us in the ICT industry. To my mind, he epitomises the leadership this industry needs more than ever in 2021. His leadership is ensuring the tech sector is playing its rightful role in influencing the direction of our nation into the 21st century. I am in fact referring, of course, to David Thodey, AO, whom I'm delighted to be with this afternoon here in Sydney, along with Simon Foster, my fellow Pearcey Foundation board member, to present our first in-person medal award since 2019. For those of you who don't know David's background, he was born in Perth, but educated in New Zealand, and judging by his accent, graduating from Victoria University in Wellington in arts degree, majoring in anthropology and English, his accent does give him away from time to time.
It does. It does.
His ICT career really began when he joined IBM in 1977, straight out of university. He rose to be Managing Director, Australia and New Zealand in 1997, is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
As many of you will recall, he also rose to be the CEO of Telstra in 2009, after joining them as Group MD Enterprise and Government in 2002. His leadership at Telstra shone out by providing stability to the organisation through a period of very rapid change. Of course, after retiring from Telstra in 2015, David has performed many public office duties, which are probably you will remember. He recently retired as chairman of CSIRO, where he was appointed to firstly in 2015. He conducted a review of the Australian Public Service in 2018. He conducting a review of the New South Wales Government's Revenue Systems Coordination Commission in 2019. And he's acting as Deputy Chair of the Federal Government's 2020 National COVID-19 Coordination Commission. In 2017, David was recognised for his distinguished service to business, namely telecommunications and IT, to the promotion of ethical leadership and workplace diversity and basketball, with his appointment as an officer of Order of Australia AO. David is currently chair of Tyro Payments and Xero, in whose offices we are currently placed for this video, and as well as being an independent non-executive director of Ramsay Health. He has exerted his competence and positive influence in many areas inside and outside the tech industry. He has consistently demonstrated sincere interest in supporting many organisations associated with our industry, including our Pearcey Foundation, especially where the focus is on attracting the next generation into our tech sector. Ladies and gentlemen, I am thrilled to introduce you the 2021 Pearcey Medallist, recognising a distinguished lifetime achievement and contribution to the development and growth of our industry in Australia. David, congratulations. I'd like to present this little medal to you. Pin this around your neck. Righto.
Do I turn around?
Yes, yes, that's right.
And
there we go.
wow. Well,
Over to
that's
you.
great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Wayne. And look, it's I feel like I'm amongst friends, so it really is great. And look, I should start by saying, look, I do feel really honoured, but there's so many wonderful people in this industry, and just listening to the entrepreneurs today, right across the country, my congratulations to all of you, and also to the other candidates in the Lifetime Award. Just, people have given so much to this industry, and I'm very grateful. It's been a great industry that I've worked in, so I've tried to give more back because it's so important for Australia. And I think the Premier really did articulate it well. We need to create, a country that celebrates entrepreneurship. And for entrepreneurship to be successful, technology underpins everything. And so, we've sort of moved from, being quite a vertical IT industry into being this enablement layer across nearly everything that happens, from healthcare all the way through to transportation to education, everything. So look, it really is a great honour. And look, I do want to just finish by saying, the Pearcey Awards 23 years, were you saying? 23 years. And we need to celebrate more the wonderful people in this industry and have greater peer recognition. We need states to collaborate for the greater good of Australia. And, you know, I think the Pearcey Awards and the foundation have done such a great job of doing that. In fact, looking back over the years, Wayne, you've recognised all these great, wonderful companies that have gone on to do, you know, globally, you know, absolutely amazing things. So the evaluation committee, well done. You know, you're doing a great job. I should invest in all these companies that you're recognising. But look, I really am honoured, and thank you very much. I just really applaud what you're doing, and I feel very grateful to be a recipient. So thank you.
Thank you, David. Great, great. And congratulations to you and Alan and Judy. We're thrilled to have you all as part of the Pearcey Hall of Famers. And now to continue on, it's my great pleasure to hand over to Simon Foster. Oh, back to Kelly, is it? Back to Kelly. Okay, over to you, Kelly. Thank you.
Thanks so much there, Wayne, and congratulations. I mean, it is always so exciting to see who is inducted into the Hall of Fame each year, and also our medalist. And it absolutely, look at the smile on my face. I think it mirrors everybody else's. You know, it's really important to take a moment to recognise people. And you know, I'm Australian, but I don't like sport and I don't drink beer. I drink vodka and I love entrepreneurs. So, you know, we have to celebrate and really showcase our talent. And we're not a nation of just sportsmen and women. We are a nation of innovators, inventors and creators. So that's what we're about. And we really appreciate and your time today, but also your contributions, which is, you know, amazing when you get the list of all the different achievements throughout these amazing people's careers. And it's not the end of your career, because I mean, hey, you're retired and now, Alan, you're busy out there in the ocean. As long as I'm not on your yacht again, it's great. So the only time I've ever stopped talking was when I went out of the bay, out of the harbour to the bay of Adelaide, and I couldn't talk because I was so seasick. So if you ever want me to stop talking, people, that's the only way to make it happen. Anyway, we really do congratulate our winners and our inductees. It is an amazing legacy of people that we have recognised, but if there weren't great people to recognise, we wouldn't exist.